Hi everyone, it's Maida. So today I wanted to talk to you about, I guess it's boundaries, but it's also relationships. It's happened to me, it happens often, and it happens to my clients as well, that we kind of expect other people to know what's okay with us and what isn't okay with us. And especially if we've had relationships that have been going for a long time, it's really tempting to think that people should know what we need. And especially as we start to get a little bit more of awareness about what works for us and what doesn't work for us, it can also feel really tempting to think that if you express what you need, that people will understand and change. And that does sometimes happen. But what I've been feeling in myself and in other people that I've been working with as well a lot is that sometimes what we're being called to is actually to create our own boundary. So I've had situations in my life where I have been feeling like the relationship isn't balanced or something's going off, and I start to feel a level of frustration in myself about what's going on in the relationship. And I feel like if I just tell the person, when you do this, I feel like this, that then they will have a level of awareness, and that then they will kind of change and start to do things differently so that they work for me. And again, sometimes that does happen, but sometimes that's not enough. And in those instances, that's when we've got to step in and actually declare, you know what, like I actually won't accept this anymore, not in a hard way, not in an angry way, but in a way that prioritizes us and what we need. And sometimes that's what, oh, hi Crystal, nice to see you. So sometimes that's what the situation is calling for us. So you've got to use your discernment. And if you try to communicate what you need and that person either can't hear you or doesn't value it or doesn't want to change, that's actually their prerogative. And it's your prerogative or our prerogative to define what's acceptable for us and to create a boundary there. So like I had to have a conversation with someone not that long ago where I had to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. And if you ask for this, I'm actually going to say, no, it doesn't work for me. And it was really hard and it was scary and I was worried they were going to get upset. But I can tell you that our relationship is so much better now because I'm not feeling pissed off and I'm not feeling resentful because I'm allowing something that isn't okay with me. So it's not that person's job to change. And it's not my job to convince them to change. It's my job to express myself, allow the possibility for change. And then if that doesn't work, for me to step up and actually implement the change myself. So it's our job to create relationships that work for us, and it's not our job to convince other people to be different. So, boundaries. They actually help relationships. They feed relationships. They're super important. And I find that for people who are really sensitive and really generous, they can be really hard to implement. But oh my holy God, my relationship with this person and other people has improved so much once it's healthy, once I'm no longer feeling pissed off at them all the time. Imagine that. So I recommend it. Have the scary conversations. Create the boundaries that work for you. Create the relationships that work for you. And only you know what works for you. Other people don't. So go forth and have boundaries. Have a good weekend. Bye.